As most of you know, the cost of plants could go up, especially if you're starting a garden for the first time or you have to do a lot of planting, kind of like all at once. As in my case, when I started gardening in 2019, I bought a lot of my plants in 2021, 2022. At the time, I didn't have plants to divide yet. And I didn't know about clearance plants. I didn't know about local plant sales. So I had to figure out a way to save money on plants, like not counting plants that were on sale. So how I was able to save money was this. So today I'm going to share with you how I was able to save money on plants when I couldn't do any of the things that I just mentioned. So I would look for plants, multiple plants in one container. So if I saw two plants that I could divide in one container that it came in, that's how I went about, saving money on plants. I would buy that container with the multiple plants, or two plants in one at least. And to me, it was like getting 50% off of that particular plant, or getting the buy one, get one free sort of thing. So I thought I was being very smart until sometime later. I learned that they did this on purpose. The growers would do this on purpose to stimulate the growth of the plant in that container. And when I found that out, I felt really stupid. Like, here I am thinking that I was doing a smart thing, that I figured something out that nobody knew or most people didn't know about, and then come to find out that they did this intentionally. So I did feel dumb. I did feel stupid for a good bit. But then after that, I was like, you know what? I don't care. I feel like I'm still saving money on plants. And, I have a lot of space to fill here. So I'm just going to go with it. I don't care if people thought I was dumb or stupid or being, just being stingy, whatever. I didn't care about that because I knew that I had a small budget for the garden every year. So my main purpose was to save money on plants. So today I'm going to take you around the garden space here and show you some of the plants that I was able to get, multiple plants in one container when I first purchased them. And you can tell me whether you think I was being smart or not, or still smart at it, and what do you think about it. And at the end, I'll let you know what I think about all of it now. All right, let's stop here first. So here are the rosemaries. So in the beginning, I believe it's 2020 that I purchased one container, and it would have like at least 3 or 4 separate rosemary plants, and I was loving it. So I was able to fill up my space here. I believe I had between 15 to 20 rosemary plants, and I didn't, I only bought, I can't remember like how many containers I bought because I was so excited. I didn't think anything that I was gonna, do this video later or whatever. So unfortunately, maybe half, or if not a little more than half, of the rosemary plants died due to the 2022 harsh winter. But I still have a good amount of rosemary still. So I have 2 of these right here, and you can see that they're both doing great. All right, I have 2 oak leaf hydrangeas, and they were 2 in one container as well. So more likely, if you see 2 plants in my garden, it is more likely that I got a 2-in-1 plant. These are little lime hydrangeas. I got 2 plants in one container. Another plant that I was able to get, more than one plant in one container was this gardenia, jubilation gardenia. Here's another gardenia in the shade. And if you're here and if you see weeds, please virtually pull it out for me. It's been a struggle this year. Here's another one. It's pretty small. Here's another one. And I have a lot of gardenias throughout the garden here, more than these. All right, so these are autumn sangria. It's part of the Encore azalea. And these guys were really small. This is after I found out what they do is to stimulate the growth of the plant. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try it out to see what happens, to prove them wrong, that I can still get all of these to grow really well. So anyway, I have 3 of these. So with these, there were 2 plants in one, and I bought 3 containers. The other 3 are here. And that is just a blackberry bloom. All right, so now I'm going to show you the last plant that I was able to get 2 plants in one container. And it is this Stellar Ruby Magnolia. And if you come this way, here's the other plant. So I was able to get 2 plants in one container. So now that you saw all the plants that came originally as at least 2 plants in one container, what do you think? Do you think that I was smart for doing it that way? Do you think I was like naive and dumb? Whatever you can think of, please let me know. In my personal opinion, I still think that I did a smart thing, because you don't really see that anymore. I'm not really looking hard for shrubs like I used to, but with the ones that I have looked at, I really don't see multiple plants in one container really anymore. So from the grower side, I don't know what's going on. All I know is I haven't really seen that, specifically with rosemary. Now, I have gone to different places to look at rosemary plants, and I only see 1 plant per container now. So I'm pretty sure they knew that they were losing money or whatever. They got smarter, or they found out that's what people like me were doing. But for whatever reason, I'm not able to get the same kind of deal that I got back then with the rosemaries, because I usually look out for rosemaries, not necessary for other shrubs. So if you have gone shopping for shrubs, let me know if you've seen that, if you've seen at least 2 plants in one container with shrubs. Just from my experience, a couple of negative things that I would say about buying it the way that I did are these. So number 1, whenever you have 2 plants in one container, one plant will do a lot better than the other one, meaning it's more vigorous in growth. It's kind of like the other one is a runt. And that's what I've noticed mostly with the plants that I bought that came in 2 plants, at least 2 plants in one. One is or grows a lot slower than the other one, or is not as healthy, you could say, or it just grows a lot slower. For whatever reason, genetically, it's just not as vigorous as the other one. So that's one negative thing about it, is that, one plant is going to outcompete the other one. So what that means is if you have multiple plants, you'll have to strategically plant them in a way, maybe plant the ones that are more vigorous together and then plant the less vigorous ones together. And then the other thing is that you do not want to plant like two of the same one in an entryway like I have here with the Stella Ruby Magnolia. So do you see that? So you can see that it's not symmetrical. I like symmetry, so it does bother me that they're not symmetrical. And I've been hoping that this one would eventually catch up, and it looks like it's been doing really good. It's catching up really good. How I'm making peace with it is that this is the Papa one and that's the baby. So Papa Bear or Papa Stella Ruby Magnolia and baby Stella Ruby Magnolia, and eventually this baby one will catch up to the Papa. So that's how I'm thinking about it, and I think it's cute the way that I think about it that way. So I'm trying not to worry too much about the symmetry and just look at it peacefully, like, you know, that's the Papa one and that's the baby one, and I'm sticking with that. So just from my experience of doing this, would I recommend this to you? I say yes. So if you're starting out like me and you just have a lot of space to fill out, or you just don't have the budget, and of course you love plants, I think it's still a good idea. Just make sure what I just mentioned about shrubs, just if you have, you know, like two, and, you know, maybe not plant them the way I did with the Stella Ruby Magnolia if you do care about the symmetry. And then also if you're going to buy multiple, just make sure that the same vigorous ones are planted together, and then the less vigorous ones are planted together. I don't think I did a good job with the way that I planted the multiples. That's something that you can take from my mistake here. Definitely I would do it again, but I would do it smarter, of course. But if you have something like rosemary, you know, where you just plant them, and rosemary is one of those things where they take off anyway, and they have different shades. You can prune them, even with the azaleas, you can prune them in different ways, certain ways, so you really can't tell. They're not as noticeable. If you see rosemaries that are in multiples, go ahead and buy them and plant them. You won't have any issues to worry about. Same thing with herbs like basils. I do that for basils all the time, and then vegetables too. I have done that with bell peppers, with spicy peppers. So if you're starting out, a good way to save money on plant is to look for two plants or multiple plants in one container. So that's a good way to save money. Now that I know better, you can save money by going to local plant sales, by shopping clearance for certain plants. So just be careful that you're not bringing any plants that are infested with pests home that are on clearance. And then once you have your garden going, you can always divide up some of your plants, because I know that prices are going up now with how the economy is. So, and if, you know, we still want to have a garden, it's just good to save money as much as we can. And of course, you know, like growing things from seed is a great idea as well. If one of the ways you have been saving money by buying multiple plants in one, like I have been doing, please let me know, and let me know how your plants have been growing, if you notice any difference in their growth rates. So I think that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. And thank you again for coming along on my journey to making this space beautiful. And until my next video, take care and bye for now.
It's me, the Mario. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe and ring the notification bell so that way you don't miss out on any more content.